Here we are with an estimated 380 player smoke and steel league for you. Our first round is going to be on the Reno's Fall between the 7th Michigan and the Sussy Brigade, whereas our second round is going to be the Eastwood Skirmish between the Colquitt's Brigade and the Corn Brigade. Here are the rankings of the event as is. The ELO ranking is the unofficial ranking, while the points are the actual official ranking, comparing everyone within their own division. Here are the regiments that are playing in tonight's event, and the actual server population with that in mind is 384. Union right now up by 10 on the CSA side. In terms of artillery, Union is the only side with that option, and they're not taking any, which is not surprising for a map like this, but that resulted in infantry imbalance in favor of the Union side by 9. Frontline reporters for today. Union side, you have Red here from the 59th New York, or Sussy Brigade, and on the CSA side, you have Seasoning here from the 12th Virginia. Appreciate these guys so we can see what's going on the ground while seeing what's going on in the sky. And if you're playing in this match, send me a link to your POV, and we can put that in the pinned comment of the video. So, Reno's Fall traditionally was about a 6% advantage to the attacking CSA side. However, with the ticket balance changes that the developers did about a month to 2 months ago at this point, time really does fly, but the Union now has a 9% advantage, so it's roughly a 15 percentage point swing in terms of tickets for the Union side. And I'm sure they appreciate this map has historically been heavily favored towards the CSA side, and of course we'll see how it goes. CSA getting prepped, they're doing a nice little charge to start the round here. They've got the 18th Georgia Regiment with the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 55, and the 2nd Mississippi with the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 42. Meanwhile, the Union defensive side, they have the 51st Pennsylvania and the 51st New York, and both have the option, or really, they don't have an option. Their choice is the Springfield 61. It's the only weapon they can use. So, CSA side pushing themselves up in the center, getting up on that sink fence. Union team really holding back. Now, you'll see the Union side traditionally play this one of two ways. They'll either hold back like they are right now, or they'll try to play super aggressive up against the snake fence here to prevent the CSA from getting a foothold. Now, the problem for the Union side with this defensive line, you could say, and what the CSA attack will try to do, is they're going to try to hit the Union extreme left, trying to use the woods to their advantage. Half the CSA team has the option of those Springfield 42s, which is the buck and ball. Acts as a shotgun for those who don't know. And so if they can get close into the woods and cause a little shootout with the buck and ball, you know, it could be a beautiful thing for the CSA side. Of course, though, Union got that ticket buff, and that maybe could impact things. Alternatively, CSA sometimes will like to loop around behind the Union right and then try to push up to the snake fence into the corn and just collapse into the center where the point is. Now, the point does say it's on the rocks there. However, the point does extend all the way to the road over there, and that's where most teams fight over the point. If you've ever watched a match of Reno's Fall or really played this for a while, you know, I don't think it's very smart for a team to try to fight over point in the middle of the open field there, because even though the rocks are cover, you know, you're running across a wide open field. Why would you put yourself in that situation? You know, these rifles, pretty accurate, especially since that bullet spread decrease, accuracy update, if you, whatever you want to call it. But for now, we just got an intense shootout, which, since Union side has more tickets, you would generally expect them to win the shootout. Just because generally shootouts fairly even on trades. And I mean, so far ticket bars haven't really gone down, but obviously there hasn't been a whole lot of fighting for the... I mean, we've been fighting for like 3 minutes. They should really make a change, you know? A one ticket means you lose a morale stage. That's it. The first to 6 kills wins the game. 6 or 5, one of the two. It'd be first to 5. That'd be, I mean, we do have pickup troll, but you don't see that often, people playing the game. Those rounds a lot quicker. Everyone spawns in, has 1 life. But alternatively, you don't see it on this channel because you can't spectate it at all. You know, like this, like you could spectate, but the game forces you to watch a person, and then you can switch to another person and switch to another person, which, you know, fine dandy and all, but you can only look at one team's side, and it really doesn't paint a picture of the battlefield. So, CSA team really starting to spread out. They really pushed in the center. Now really kind of going across the whole length of the map, or you could say the width of the map. I would, now that I think about it, I would say this is the width. They're spreading out a lot more, starting to peep out a little bit on this Union right side. And you can see Union's already starting to get a little bit of a ticket lead here. So, this Union defensive line, excuse me, you have the 51st Alabama. Looks like you got Free States Brigade Starting to shift over to them with 1st Delaware, Missouri State Guard, 10th U.S. Forming a really nice battle lines here. 59th New York, really just Sussex Brigade as a whole kind of condensed in here, except for the 1st Delaware guys, a couple of them on the right side. Corn Brigade seems to be holding this center. Left side of the Union team right now, they got big numbers. Corn Brigade, Sussex Brigade, I think it was 60-65 on the chord sheet. Very impressive, that's for sure. Meanwhile, CSA side on the opposite end, from CSA right to left. Looks like you've got 7th Michigan starting to shift a little bit to the left. Jackson's division, Colquitt's Brigade. Some more Jackson's division here. Kind of, really, there's no center of the CSA line. There's just the right and the left. So we just went through the right. The left side, you got 2 Corps with 6th Louisiana in particular. 5th Virginia probably mixed in. Kentucky Outlaws shifting on the left side. 12th VA. Looks like they're heading out and over and starting to push their line forward. Here, there's a 5th VA guy. There's 2 of them. Fear and Tom. Look at that. So they're just trying to spread out this battle line. And so far, I mean, the shootout's not working, right? And, I mean, you could say, well, it's the beginning of the match. You know, CSA's making micro adjustments, and they could start catching back up if they wanted to. Well, I act like they're kind of in control of that. And, I mean, they kind of are, right? CSA can make micro adjustments, but, I mean, Union's shooting back at them. So it's like, it's kind of in their control in a sense, if you think about it. But even though the initial part of this battle has not really gone CSA's way in the shootout, CSA can't continue to do this. They have to keep moving or they have to charge at some point. Because this lead, I mean, again, we've seen a shootout for about 5-6 minutes so far, and Union's side is up by about 1/4 of a stage. And that's just going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing. And, you know, your CSA side, that's not a good thing. You can be down tickets as an attacker, but definitely not what you want. Now, I heard buck and ball down here. Which, are they taking buck and ball down here? Huh. Because this seems maybe a little bit of a misplay, you could argue, from the CSA side. They're putting the guys with the shotguns in the more open field compared to the guys in the woods. Although, just based on historical past, both flanks for the CSA side will try to charge in and hit the side. So, I mean, buck and ball here is fine. We'll see what they do. I mean, buck and ball's still going to be fine at this range. I mean, the, you know, rifles, you don't have to change your rifle height when shooting as much, just because all the weapons are fairly accurate. The Springfield 42, the buck and ball, shotgun, right? Shotguns aren't really good at long range. They're harder to hit shots just because, again, you're shooting a shotgun, a couple shots, they're just spreading out in every direction. And, I mean, you could still hit from long distances, very difficult to, but you just got to aim up a lot higher. And, obviously, when you're training in this game or just at the drill camp shooting shots, right, the 42 is going to be completely different. So it'll be a little hard to hit shots. And I actually want to... Someone from A and V, I don't remember the name, and that's why I want to mention it to give him credit. Sent me a video of him like hitting a 400-yard shot with buck and ball, which was absurd. Yeah, there was a Morris here from A and V. It was, he sent the video. It was very impressive. So I mean, you can't hit those shots, but yeah, it's just a different experience than most of the other weapons within the game, just because it's a lot less accurate. And that's you'll hear that proponents of the Springfield 42 is that, too, when you're shooting the shotgun shots, right, you're shooting a bunch of pellets, you know, you're still shooting more than one shot. So, you know, even if a bulk of them miss, if one hits, you know, you're still doing a little bit of damage there. Nonetheless, though, topic for another day, or a conversation to continue later. Nonetheless, CSA is really starting to put a lot of pressure on this Union right. You can see the Union side, right, they have the rifles, right, the Springfield 61. And so the Union team is trying to play this, I think, a little bit of a smart, right? They're just trying to keep the distance from the CSA and just keep running around, right? Most of the CSA team converting their forces on the Union right. The Union had a big line in the open field. They already started to fall back. Now they're falling back even more. Now using the stone wall on point here, facing towards the CSA to their advantage. Now what's going to be interesting to see, right, is you do have one CSA regiment that's kind of stayed back, and that is 7th Michigan, 9th Louisiana, some Colquitts too, so 2 or 3 regiments there. But as CSA starts to enter the corn and tries to get behind the Union team, I almost wonder if the Union team is going to, one, try to stay there and defend the point, or try to rush this side to keep, you know, the distance with the CSA side. Because, I mean, again, right, the shootout's working in Union's favor. Union's going to want to keep this a shootout as long as we can. Now, will the charges help CSA? We'll see. You would think, right? But you never know. 12th VA is starting to push up. They're going very trickled here into the Union line, with 51st Alabama is going to be on top. 59th New York shifting.
East. Kill these fucking idiots. Kill that officer. He has a fucking LeMat. He's gonna keep killing us. Good shit. Fucking 8 years in college to die to a fucking farm boy. You're retarded.
Yeah, Stanley.
Yeah, keep going.
Remember, no, not Stanley. Damn it, I shot more coming. Oh, watch out.
I mean, CSA is slowly starting to overwhelm this position. One Union flag down. You got more lines shifting over 10th US. And just really the whole Union line.
Target southeast. Cut into it. Some of these cops is like God. Come on up.
Let's kill number one of the game. Let's kill number one.
That was brace. Come on. Why would you do this? Get over here, slaver. Trying to get information. Sorry. Come here, slaver. Keep holding regulars. Keep holding. Skirmish. Sorry, guys.
So Union lines looks like they're starting to hold position here. A couple CSA remaining.
Still more coming in from the corn. More coming in.
But nonetheless, Union side holds and they maintain a little bit of a lead. CSA pushing from the north side. 7th Michigan charging in the side.
Fall back, Union. Fall back, Union. Fall back, Union. Fall back.
Get back, Union.
Surprised that they didn't go in a little sooner. Rest of the Union pouring out of the woods, flanking in. And they should hold this now.
Shoot them from across the road. Pull off of the fence and across the road.
So that is held. Good job by the Union team. CSA forced into engage. Union looks about a fourth of a morale stage, maybe a little lower than that. CSA keeping their flags really far back from that charge, though, not wanting to lose them. Starting to form back up, and I mean, all things considered, it seems like that charge was a fine thing for the CSA. The attack doing really well on time right now relative to the amount of tickets that each side has. If you're CSA, the attacking side, you want to hit that defending Union side down to engage by the 30-minute mark, which they're basically going to do that, although it's going to take them a minute or two to form up here, as they got guys moving out of main swamp, which is a little surprising considering they have all their flags up. So, really good round by the Union defense so far. They did, I mean, obviously, just repeating what happened, they tried to hold that position, and they hold it, I mean, pretty well, all things considered. And they're actually pushing out a little bit. 10th U.S. Missouri State Guard. Some Free State Brigade guys going out right now. I mean, they're just picking up some stragglers here and there in the corn. I don't know how far they're going to push out. I mean, the one concern for them is that they are getting really close to the bulk of the CSA team, whether they know it or not. And the Union strategy has done really well because they've kept their distance and they've stuck together for the most part. And they don't, you know, they don't want to spread out too much. That would not be good. TKO. Bye-bye, TKO. So that's held there, and I mean, the CSA team right now is the team, you know, they're down tickets. They've been kind of losing this fight, which, in terms of tickets, which is really the only thing that matters. And so, you know, maybe Kentucky Outlaws saw an opening there that they wanted to try and take, but they just walked right up to the Union line, heavily outnumbered, and they were defeated pretty quickly.
shredding us here.
That's the fifth floor. Colors, get them up.
Form in the road. Form
Keep
in the
up the
road.
fire,
O shape,
Reno.
O shape. Get on with me. Get on with me. Right here, right here. Fill in these gaps. Fill in these gaps, boys.
I mean, you heard Zap there, Zap Star. Mentioning they're kind of getting shut up. I mean, if these, it's a little bit of an odd angle. Just shooting uphill. I mean, they got to pop out and pop down, but I mean, it's a clear shot from this angle. Look at this man here. You, sir, are gonna might be the thumbnail tonight. Wait, is he being propped up by the weapon? I kind of, that is, you know, not the best. Fascinating. CSA is starting to make a move through the corn. 12th Virginia. A couple 7th Ohio mixed in as well. By that I mean like one. They're pushing up again. 12th Virginia was the first regiment to push forward for CSA previously. Now they do have more coming, but it is very trickled.
Right here.
Union much more prepared, at least bulking up. Unlike the previous time, CSA trickling forward. I don't know why CSA is not just hitting this together. It's not like the Union is buck and ball.
Who's repping?
So Union hits engaged a couple minutes after you maybe want. I don't get the CSA push up here. Trying to flank on the outside again. Jackson's division charging in. I mean, Jackson's division having success, but here come the Union reserves. The Union left, I should say. And that'll do it for the CSA push-up, which wasn't really much of a push-up. They went in very scattered. And Union will now counter-push and try to get as many tickets as they can, because this lead is growing for them. A little bit of scattered with the smoke and corn. Can't really see a whole lot. CSA side has to figure something out here. Easier said than done, of course. But, man, they're down like a half morale stage, a little more than that. And, you know, early capping is an option for them, but it doesn't give them any favors. Because War of Rights a lot of the times comes down to two things. There's two currencies in this game. I don't remember who said that phrase. It was like a pub officer like years ago, but I think it's a good reference. There's two currencies in War of Rights, time and tickets. And battles usually come down to one of those two things. And right now, it's a tickets battle just because the attacking side is down by so much. Now, time is definitely an issue for the attacking side as well. Don't get me wrong, right? They need to hit Union down to taking losses by the 20-minute mark, but a higher priority for them should be trying to get this Union team to even tickets with them. I mean, I mentioned earlier that it is... Actually, I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but it's fine for the attackers to be down tickets, and that's not really true anymore all the time, just because now, in many cases, like this map, Union defense now has a ticket advantage.
It didn't work the first two times, it'll work now, right?
Yeah, exactly, yep. You know, third time's the charm, they say. You're not insane. So, I mean, you really got to think what the CSA side is going to try to do here. They've tried the corn twice. You heard down there, you know, maybe it'll work a third time. I'm kidding. You know, maybe in a world where there's infinite time and a lot more tickets, you can afford to, you know, try it a third time or fourth or fifth. You can do that anyways, but just due to the restrictions of the game mode itself with the time and tickets, which again, 25 minutes, very long time, don't get me wrong, but considering how many tickets each side has left, not that many. So you wonder if the CSA side's got to pivot and try to this wood side of the map. They have to try something. And I mean, you hear people jokingly mention that this whole season is kind of forfeit just due to the fact that all the ticket balance changes have screwed up a lot of maps. I don't think I've seen Reno's fall since the ticket balance change, which, you know, I can look up the original numbers for what Reno's fall was. And instead of looking at the most recent update, I decided to hit see all and looked at a couple of wrong things. Alright, so Reno's fall was played 24 times in the month leading up to this update that they did, which again was about a month and a half ago, 2 months at this point. I don't know. Time flies. And out of the 24 times it was played, CSA... Oh, sorry, I was looking at Coquit's defense. They played 20 times on Reno's fall. It's weird because they have the photo with the stats and then underneath the ticket balance change. So I usually would think it's the ticket balance change on top and the map info. Nonetheless, before CSA starts pushing into the woods here, it was played 20 times. CSA won 17. Union only won 3 times. Average player count of 230. CSA remaining tickets 13 out of 127. Union remaining tickets 0 out of 120. So that justified an apparent, 15% ticket swing in Union's favor, according to the developers, which might be too much based on what we're seeing right now, but we'll see if CSA can change their fortune here. Starting to push up into the woods. Looks like they're going to charge. Union left.
We're going to put some balls in the jar.
Cutting out of bounds a little bit, trying to just make sure they're on the extreme flank. The Union team, what are they doing? Line's kind of shifting. The center side hops over the stone wall into the open field. CSA is collapsing in the Union. Couple CSA hitting the north side here. Union not really looking. And last couple CSA pushing up. Union main spawn starting to hit the rear side. Pick up their down flags and clean up CSA. A couple CSA flags. Got to watch it though. And I mean, all things considered, very successful charge for the CSA side. It partially, it's a little hard to tell. I mean, it looks like they might have partially closed the gap, although we'll see what happens when Union starts to get into taking loss a little bit, if that gap's closed, because it was a little more than a half morale stage, if my memory serves me right. That's what the difference was before the charge. I mean, if it gets any amount closer, that's really good for CSA side. Now, the Union team, right, they had half their guys in the woods or a line in the woods. Maybe not half, maybe less than half. Regardless, they had part of their team in the woods. The other part of the team got lined up on the stone wall, and it let the CSA defeat in detail and have success. Now, CSA starting to push down from the center. In the center, they will break, and they're thrusting forward here. 7th Michigan, the Kentucky Outlaws leading this in the front. Union line starting to shift. Early capping, no downside, so CSA doesn't have to worry about if they accidentally cap the point.
On the left.
Your officers. I got 2 people who are not.
You might want to get back flag.
It's me.
Hold on this side. Grace.
Johnny.
Hold up, boys. They're charging you. Corn and the road. Just brace.
Sit down, retard. Yeah, sit down, retard. Keep it all left, Taylor.
Whoever was playing the Ohio State fight song for a brief second, you should be ashamed of yourself. Very sad. Very, very sad. But, I mean, it was a good push out there from the Woods Corn Brigade. At least the largest regiment for Union hitting that. And it looks like, you know, that ticket gap, it looked like it was better for CSA, but it's about a 3/4 of morale stage difference right now. And that's got to blow up your CSA side here. I mean, it's not like... I mean, Union's playing a phenomenal defense, really, for the most part, right? You could argue the only thing Union's done wrong this round is the fact that they got split up when CSA initially charged the Woods. But outside of that, they've done phenomenal. And so... they are, in my opinion, so far, obviously we have some round left, you never know what can happen, right? So far, Union's side has been the better team this round. They've looked a lot more coordinated, especially considering the fact that the CSA team, mostly in these corn charges here, were extremely split out. Now, maybe that was done by design, right? There's a video of General Cody that I always remember. There's 2 videos I remember watching back in high school. When I was first watching War of Rights on my little Chromebook. And we love the Chromebook. But there is one of those 2 videos that I remember where General Cody was officering a Burnside's Bridge. A lot smaller a pop than what it is now, obviously. I mean, what are we at? Yeah, we're at a full 400 here. Union up by... oh, man. 16. You know, that could also be a reason why Union's doing so well. 15-man imbalance is about where it's too much to overcome. 16 is... yikes. Definitely a concern, but that's for the event officials to figure out. Nonetheless, though, in that General Cody video, the Burnside's Bridge officering that as Union, they sent forward a little wave, CSA volleyed, and then the rest of the Union team charged across the bridge. Now, I don't remember if they won or not, and I should probably go look at that video to see if they did win or not. Who knows? But it's like a core memory. The other video was like why you should buy a War of Rights or something like that, and it is just him spectating a CSA team. They're like singing a song, you know, like 10-15 guys singing a song, and then they get into a little charge in the woods, which I don't recall what the map is. Maybe Westwoods or Eastwoods. It's one of those 2. But yeah, it's that video really got me hooked on the game. It was great to watch, and look at where we're at now. So, as a quick note, 23rd New York was told to bounce to the CSA side. And JD, Jackson Division, now spamming a bunch of 6-7s in the chat. Now, I'm on the Union chat, so we can't see that, unfortunately. We can't see that message, though. Don't mind anything else being said in the text chat. The text chat's just not real. So, yeah, we appreciate 23rd New York doing that. Obviously, a very important thing. You know, it's definitely annoying for the regiment trying to balance over. Just because, you know, you go in coordination, you learn about one team's slam, you got to flip over, and then you got to act like you forget it or whatever. Including the fact that you just got to balance sides. You know, it just can be frustrating, especially if you're winning as much as you are like the Union side. Numbers already starting to get better. It's about a 9-man imbalance right now in favor of the Union team. CSA going up and over. They're going to try to hit the wood side again. Union's shifting this way already, and they turn tail immediately. And good call on Union, right? You'll see a lot of times the Union group, they'll sit there, they'll get charged by CSA, and then when CSA gets on top of them, Union will retreat. It's like, no, retreat way before you get there. So really good reaction there by Corn Brigade for the most part. Maybe another regiment or two in there. CSA switching forward. Corn Brigade going to try to hit the, or just hold the brunt of this like they did before. Union has so many tickets, though. I don't know if they really care. One brigade's going to get ran over there, but they definitely did their job. A lot of smoke in the woods. I mean, they delay the CSA team. I mean, they held a good amount of them and really distracted the CSA team because the rest of the Union team now just has great shots at them with the stone wall. Now, if I'm the CSA over here, I sit in the woods, I get a shootout with the Union, not because you're going to kill a lot, but because you're just going to keep the Union's attention towards the woods instead of the CSA team forming up on their side. And if CSA can form up here, then they maybe push out. But, I mean, Union team already reacting. Missouri State Guard, 10th United States. They already put themselves in a spot to engage with that. And, again, Union has the tickets to afford this right now. They can afford a little bit of a drop in tickets. Now, again, that's not like they want that. But, because, I mean, even though the Union side right now is winning this and winning it by a lot, if the CSA side hits Union into that next stage of breaking, a little over half morale stage away from that, and they capture the point, they can win the game. Tickets aside. So, Union, right, 10th US, MSG, they back off, feeling they're getting hit too much. Meanwhile, Corn Brigade's pushing out, trying to do what they did last time, but CSA sending up reinforcements with a flag. 2, 3.
He's dead, he's dead.
Get bonked! Get bonked! Get bonked! Get bonked! Get bonked!
Holy field! Ye shall be cast down in judgment!
Oh shit, they're over there.
Oh god, they're fucking here, boys. They're here.
So Corn Brigade's got to watch it just in case, you know, CSA can feed on them with tickets. But I mean, the CSA team themselves are kind of spread out. Looks like actually a couple of them are going to start charging in here. Don't need to repeat what Corn Brigade is trying to do. And it's a good idea. Union's winning this a lot on tickets, kind of regardless of what's happened. Force the CSA to move at you. Union still looks like they're keeping track of the CSA to the north, Free States Brigade, except they're popping more up the hill. I mean, it can be a little difficult to tell in spectator view, just because, especially because like to fly so high at times, but actually, never mind. I take back everything I was going to say. I was going to say, you know, elevation change can make it difficult to see. No, you can see that line just perfectly.
Get over here on the snake fence. One man per corner shooting at Union.
Oh, man, it's taking his time to aim. Better hit that shot. Aw. Unfortunate. We won't reveal the name. That would be cruel and unusual punishment here. And for now, CSA, it's a little, I mean, they're spreading out. They have guys in the woods, but some of them are running back to the main line. Some of them staying in the woods. Maybe a little confusing to tell. But you got to be wondering what the CSA team is thinking. I mean, I'm going to take a stab at it, right? They're keeping guys in the woods. Unions has to focus their attention there. It's keeping the Union on the field side of the stone wall, which is allowing a lot of the CSA team to shoot at them, which is why now the Union team is slowly falling back, just because CSA has great shots on them. And again, right, even though Union's dominating this map on tickets, right, Union's a fourth of morale stage from breaking. If CSA capture point, they win the game. So, oh my, that's a... Oh, that's such a throwback, cats. Now, I don't know if that version of Tipperary is from the Wolfpack submarine game, which, if you haven't played that game, it's fun with friends. I'm trying to think if I agree with that statement after I said it. When I played it anyways, it was a lot of fun. It's a realistic World War II, and I think you're a German sub. And you got like a captain who can shoot torpedoes. You got a guy that can like pinpoint on the map where you're at, because when you're underwater, you got to keep track of that. You know, you got a guy that can look through the telescope, guy controls the speed, guy listens to the radar, which on top of that, if you haven't seen the movie Crimson Tide before, would highly recommend that. It's a great movie. The gist of that is there's a Russian revolutionaries and they take over a Russian nuclear facility, except they don't have the launch codes to the nuclear weapons. But regardless, the U.S. is like, you know, we don't want these guys to have the launch codes, or like if they get them and they shoot the nuclear bombs at us, that's not going to be good. So the U.S. sends their own nuclear sub over by Russia to kind of intercept if the rebels ever get the launch codes, which they eventually do. And they get ordered to launch their nukes from the submarine. And the captain's like, okay, we're going to do this. And the XO agrees, but then they start to get another emergency action message saying, you know, their next steps from the U.S. government. But their communication gets cut off. XO is like, hey, we don't know what this new message is. We shouldn't launch. The captain's like, we should still launch because that was our original order. We don't know what this new one is. It could be fake for all we know. And then they just get into a huge argument, and it's such a good movie. If I explain that in a decent way. But nonetheless, both sides are starting to fall down to their next stage. CSA close to final push. Union close to breaking. Union, they lose the point. Once they hit breaking, they lose the game. And CSA is starting to cap it right now. Union lines kind of on the edge of point right now. CSA really rushing from the open field here. Trying to make this fight over the rocks and the stone wall. Union lines taking it back. As Kentucky Outlaws here push forward, fall back a little bit. Really close shootout there. CSA trying to put bodies on point, but you see what the Union team's doing, right? They're not charging the CSA out here, which would be the first instinct. You don't want them to sit here, but Union team has been winning this game off the shootout, and that's what they're continuing to do. Now, Union hit breaking. CSA is going to fall in the final push very shortly. I mean, you could hear CSA, they're just trying to throw bodies on point. But the Union lines are kind of shredding them. CSA hits final push, so they still have infinite spawns. But that clock, you can see, dropped like 3 or 4 minutes.
Shoot down. We can win this shootout. We can win this shootout.
Shoot him.
So infinite spawns, limited time. CSAs, you can hear down there, they can win this, you know, by just having more bodies on point. But it's going to be very difficult to do. Now, they are starting to push out the Union center right side, which... They still have an extreme right flank, 51st Alabama, keeping pressure on the rocks on this side, which, if I were these CSA guys, I would not even bother shooting at the 51st Alabama just because they're not on point. I mean, they just need to cook the guys kind of in the center area of your screen. I mean, they're holding on point. Union doesn't have to move, really. And so far, they're winning the shootout very well.
Send it. Shoot him down right in front of us, boys. Right in front of us. Hey, cover Apollo. Cover Apollo. He can't die. We need the good VOD. Cover him. Mr. President, get down, Mr. President. Shoot him, boys. Keep shooting. We need to contest this point.
I didn't realize Pixelated Apollo was in this. Very cool. So I'm playing with the Army of Northern Virginia. Last week for Boy Howdy campaign. By last week, I don't mean last week Friday, because I was gone the week before that. I think it was a Boy Howdy campaign, or maybe it was War Brothers, I don't remember. Nonetheless, he's posted a video on that. It's cool to see him back. And CSA push-ups to the rocks. They're starting to take the point back. Union left in the woods has to push up the point, just because they're off point. Now they're on point. They're starting to take it back. And Union being forced into close combat, which will favor CSA with the shotguns. I didn't know we were making an anime special of this game. CSA's taking the point. Again, Union's got a lot of tickets. I don't know why they're not throwing bodies right now. Minute and a half. CSA from the stone wall, or sorry, the rock starting to push up. As Union's starting to take the spot back, CSA still has more bodies. And are they going to do it?
Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys.
Looks like they are.
Up and over,
Wow.
up and over. God damn it, get out of the fucking
I mean, you could see, right? Union was, in my opinion, the better team that round. They played a really well thought out strategy of just keeping the distance, shooting it out, and they were winning on the tickets by a lot. They were up by a morale stage by the time the game ended. By that, I mean CSA hitting final push Union into breaking. So, huge win for 7th Michigan to CSA. Saucy Brigade for Union. You know, a great defense, but falling short in the end when it really mattered. And I think part of it too, right, is the Union center right side of that line collapsed, which allowed the CSA to push up more into the rocks in the center of the open field on point, which CSA was kind of already there already, so that nullifies that. But the Union pushed out of the woods on the left side, getting up onto the stone wall close to the CSA, and that was only part of the Union team. And then CSA pushed that, charged it out, kind of defeated it in detail a little bit, and then just kept pushing. You know, if you win a charge, defeat in detail, keep going because you might roll over the rest of the team or outnumber them, which is all the CSA side really needed to do. So, you know, the overall match doesn't define the result. Good job, CSA. We'll see y'all shortly for round 2. And here we are with the second round over the Eastwood Skirmish. Server population right now is 389. CSA up by 1 on the Union side. In terms of artillery, like the previous round, the Union side has the option of it. And my goodness, they're taking 16. So the infantry imbalance is going to be 18 in favor of the CSA side. And unlike the previous round where that was definitely an issue and they had to balance over that, I mean, the natural numbers are balanced enough already. It's Union choosing to put that many guys on artillery. So quick reminder for this map, as we saw, a lot of the Corn Brigade guys were on the Union artillery. So as further, I was going to say as a reminder, again, just repeat myself twice. Don't we love that, you know, just drawing it out until something happens. But, I mean, Corn Brigade, they picked this map. They picked Eastwood Skirmish. Colquitt's Brigade picked CSA side, which means Corn Brigade's on Union. And the Corn Brigade guys were on artillery. It'd be interesting to see what they are going to do, which looks like they're already trying to roll the guns from their original position to the center side of the map. And I'm going to assume once they move the guns, they'll take a couple of those guys off of the artillery position because, you know, that's what they do at times. Nonetheless, Union for now getting into a shootout. This map was originally a 19% advantage in favor of the Union side. Union has always had difficulty at this map just because even though they had the ticket advantage, it's not that wide of a map. The out of bounds goes on the left side of that Union line all the way to essentially the snake fence on this right side. And, you know, it's a wide open map, not that long. So wherever the Union team goes, CSA can see them and react. As long as CSA can react and stick together, they're fine. And when I say react, I mean react in a reasonable time. So that's all they really have to do for this map. So even though Union had that ticket advantage, 19%, not that much. That's why the devs gave the Union side about a 10-11% buff in tickets. Union has a 29.5 percentage point advantage in terms of tickets now, which we'll see if the 10% buff helps them this Union attack. They have the 32nd Pennsylvania Regiment with the Springfield 42, but they also have a special regiment, which although initially you would think would give the Union side advantage, it has really kind of gone away as of late, and that is the 42nd Pennsylvania. They have these Sharps rifles, so it reloads at double the speed. You know, you can get it loaded in about 10 seconds compared to what you normally get with a rifle, which is 20 seconds. And so even though there is that huge advantage with the Sharps, that special company only has 1 flag, so that means Union team only has 3 flags compared to the CSA side, who has 4. Now, I know the developers were changing that a little bit to add like an additional company to each map, which, if we look, no, it looks like they haven't done that yet. I know they implemented it and there were issues with it, so maybe that's why it's not here. Or maybe they just didn't add it to this map yet. I know they added it to a couple, but I haven't really seen that too much in effect yet. I think maybe Hatches and Hooker's Push was one of those maps where an additional company was added to help the attackers out. Because again, right, normally you'd think a special company having those Sharps rifles would be a huge advantage, and it wasn't a small pop, but now that the servers are going larger and larger and larger, and those special companies like the 42nd Pennsylvania with the Sharps are only limited to like 20-25 guys, that cap amount doesn't scale based on the server size. So as a result, the Sharps become a smaller and smaller percentage of the actual server pop, which can really limit their functionality. I mean, if we just compare the average sizes of the companies, right? CSA, you got 28, 54, 51, and 63. So they're, you know, they're about 45, 50. Union has 68, 88, and then the 17 on the Sharps. So Union, a company for the Union side right now is about double the size that of CSA, which means it takes that much longer to get everyone spawning in on the flags, which is why I think you have a good amount of Union guys, or a couple of them anyways, just trying to spawn main and keep pushing out because it's almost quicker. So, nonetheless, we'll see how it pans out. I mean, Union, seeing that they had the ticket advantage, maybe trying to get this into a shootout, which so far isn't working. Union attack, we win over their weapons. The CSA defense, they have the 18th Georgia with the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 55, and the 4th Texas with the option of the Enfield, the Springfield 55, and also the Springfield 42. And I think, you know, that's maybe another difficult part. Now, all the Springfield 42s, you know, you can shoot them at distance, right? If people aren't trained on them, you know, or maybe don't aim a little higher than what you normally do, it can be difficult for the Union team here, maybe to hit shots consistently. Good amount of the CSA team, you know, they're holding behind it definitely. It doesn't look like it from up top, but you go down here, and once the flags and name tags disappear, I mean, it's a little bit of a hill. So they're hiding in cover here, and those regiments being 12th Virginia, some of Jackson's division, 9th Louisiana, 7th Michigan. Holding up top, though, mostly Jackson's division and Colquitt's brigade. And, yeah, so a lot of the CSA keeping cover, running out to take shots and then fall back. Meanwhile, CSA center, you have 2 Corps with 5th Virginia kind of in the center of it. Star, level 67, you know, I really would advise him to not play the game anymore, just to hold that sacred level number. But alas, he keeps playing because, you know, that's the true soldier that the Brigadier General of the 2 Corps, 5th Virginia. It's what they bring there. This is not a paid advertisement. So, for now, Union's just trying to make this a shootout. It's not working. Union team traditionally has always tried to charge one of the extreme flanks to get a foothold, but it's always been difficult for them. So, again, that's probably why they're trying to shoot out right now. It ain't working, though. Again, pretty early in the match, though. Things could change. I mean, the Union team is slowly starting to inch forward. They actually have a cannon in the line. They're really pushing them up. Maybe they're waiting for the cannons to get primed, and then they'll make a move. But this Union shooting line, looks like you got Sussex Brigade, the mix of them, holding the extreme Union left with Missouri State Guard, 10th U.S., 10th United States, I should say. To their right. Then you have Corn Brigade in the center. A couple Free States Brigades mixed in with more of them on the right there. And then you have the 51st Alabama on the right side of this Union line shooting it out. So, again, not a lot of cover for the Union team. And not a whole lot of hill elevation here.
Warm welcome for the artillery, gentlemen. Huzzah!
Yeah, welcome in, big boys. Give them hell, Artie.
Can't be sustainable unless they get ready.
Artie online.
I'll watch you stand there in front of the line and get shot.
Get an ass down range.
Being told to edit the end screen to make it say USA victory. You know, that would have been a good idea for last week. It was actually suggested. Gamer was telling me I should do some April Fool ideas, which would have been funny. I think very funny, but did not have the time. It's been a really hectic 2 weeks for me. It's going to be a hectic month for me, which I was going to make a post about this probably at some point within the next day or 2, but I think might as well mention it now. It's just the next month, a lot of good things happening in my life, but it's going to make me very busy. And so, for those reasons, the schedule is probably at least going to be inconsistent for the next month. Or at least for the remainder of April. April Fools, no. So if that's why, you know, like this upcoming Friday, I'm not going to be there. Off to go do other things, but hopefully next month in May, we'll be back to more of a consistent 6-day-a-week War of Rights broadcast and whatnot. But stay tuned for that, of course. So, for now, the shootout's been going for about 10 minutes or so. And it looks like CSA's winning this on a ratio of 2-1 in tickets, right? Union's lost about, 2/3 of a stage. CSA losing about a fourth to a third of a stage. And I mean, that's the thing, right? Even though, you'll have people argue about what some of the CSA guys are doing here. Nice crisp volley, at least the guys that didn't fire early. But, right, when you have guys hiding indefinitely, they run up, take their shots, and then fall back, right? A lot of the times, the weapon will be swaying like crazy. Or you either just expose yourself too long if you wait up there too long. But they kind of have the cover of the snake fence there, so it's not the worst thing in the world, as it could be sometimes. But clearly it's working. And I'm shocked the Union team is sitting here. I mean, there already is, set up in front of their team right now. Which, if we look at the numbers here, CSA is up by... I mean, this is probably part of it, too, is the fact that the CSA side is up 11 right now, on top of the 17 artillerymen. I mean, that's a 28 infantryman in balance in the shootout, which is really going to favor CSA side. I mean, they've got, 30 more guys shooting than the Union team. That's ridiculous. And Artie that just shot, you would hope they'd make a big impact. It looked like it went over. Am I crazy? Might be crazy. Where'd that shot? I swear they just shot. Wow. Alright. Nonetheless, regardless of if they hit or miss, you would expect if they're going to put that many manpower on the guns, they need to be hitting some pretty great shots. But I haven't seen that yet, of course. Maybe they're still moving them. Looks like they're having the 23rd New York balance back over from CSA to Union. So we'll check the balance again in about a minute or two, but appreciate them for, bouncing over twice. I'm pretty sure, now again, don't quote me on this because I don't look at the specific rules of the event, and I don't want to be burned for it, although you can definitely burn me for misquoting this, because I could be wrong, but I think, no. When a regiment balances over, I know they get like a... Sometimes they get points for balancing over, just because, they're on the winning team at least part of the match. Now, I don't know the specifics of that, so... I mean, because that's got to be a little rough for 23rd New York. I mean, we're getting to the end of the season here right now, which I don't know if I have a schedule up here, but I know we're getting into the final weeks of the season here where every point matters. And I mean, the winning while being the leading regiment, obviously the most important thing you get. I know for a fact you get 10 points while winning as the leading regiment. I think it's like 1 point for an assisting regiment. I mean, it's huge, right? But, every individual point's going to matter just because most of your matches are not as a leading regiment, and those points can certainly add up. So it's about a half morale stage difference now. Again, it's continuing to grow, and the Union team is not changing up their strategy. They're the ones that hit engaged. Again, we saw this, not to maybe this extreme degree in the previous round, but... But, I mean, Union team could still win this. I'm shocked they haven't tried charging yet. Again, it hasn't worked historically in the past, which is probably why they're not doing it, but... When you see something not working, you would think you want to try something different, which is, I mean, what we saw the CSA attack do in the previous round. Is Union still taking that many guys on artillery? Numbers are a lot more balanced. CSA only up by 4 now. Union still has 17 on artillery, close enough. I mean, are they still trying to roll? I mean, they're about to get the caissons over here. I mean, I don't know if they're waiting for the artillery to get primed up and then charge the corner or what, but a lot of time has been gone here, and a lot of tickets have been lost by the Union team, which is fine as long as you can deal the same amount back, roughly, which it's not even close right now. And, I mean, regardless of where the Union team decides to charge, they are going to charge and be picked up on right away. Union line starting to hold here. Looks like maybe some canister being shot there, which what I need Union artillery to do is the moment Union decides to charge, whenever they do, if they even do it, right? I assume they would at some point. But that already needs to slam the CSA, like hit them right as the Union team's about to go in. That's what you need from the Union arty here. Now you would hope by them moving the guns at these spots, it would help them out. Now it is definitely possible for the Union artillery from their original position to hit shots, which, I mean, are they just shooting canister? Because I don't see where the explosions are happening unless they're so far out, which you'd hope wouldn't be the case. I mean, we can... There's another shot. Okay, so they're hitting the tree here, which is knocking down a couple CSA guys, but it ain't killing. Which, you know, when I'm thinking of artillery, I don't think it's going to kill a lot of people. You know, there's some cases where it can do that, but more often than not, it's not going to happen because they miss a lot of shots. I mean, it's not the easiest thing. But they still should be hit, that's for sure. But, I mean, they're hitting the tree. I mean, it's not a bad idea just because the CSA line, it kind of crests here in the center and then dips down. So, you know, hit the tree, an object that you can kind of bounce your shot off a little bit and see if you can hit someone. But the CSA aren't sitting there, so... I mean, they got to set a fuse time real short and kind of explode it over the CSA lines, which... I don't know if the fuse time goes that small because this is not that long of a distance for artillery. But again, I'm not an artillerist in heart. Or at least I haven't played it that much. I've probably played it less than 5 times, I think, when I really played back in 2020 and 2021. But they just got to airburst those shots, I think, right above the CSA lines, right as Union goes in, which they're still not going in. Some of the names of the CSA players right now are saying is that this is reenacting the Battle of Fredericksburg. This is Gettysburg without the charge. Historically accurate Antietam. I didn't lose, I merely failed to win. These are just some of the comments of the CSA players right now. They're still pushing the guns for it. Yeah, these guns got to be useful. I mean, Union lines are inching closer and closer to the CSA team, which, I mean, maybe will help Union because they got the bucket ball, although they're still somewhat at a distance. And, I mean, they're just going to be more and more visible and easier for CSA to hit. Union guns are now turning towards the center. Are they gonna charge center? I mean, this looks like a much better angle for Union artillery to be shooting at the center, but they got to charge. Almost 20 minutes through the match. Union, again, it's a pace of 2-to-1 tickets right now. CSA is like 3/4 of a stage. Union's down a morale stage and a half. This is just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And eventually you're just going to be so far in a hole you can't dig yourself out. I mean, it's possible to always do that, but you're really limiting your chances. I mean, seriously. Because, I mean, here's the thing, right? CSA, you know, you hit an arty shot. If they can hit one, it's going to kill 4 or 5-ish. You know, that's on the higher end, I would argue. Those guys are spawned back in 25 seconds, even before you get another shot loaded and fired. So, it's... Artillery's main... Now, obviously, right, if the infantry's not charging, this doesn't really apply. Artillery should just shoot at the infantry, which is what they're doing. The infantry's not charging. But... Man. This is just... I mean, we'll see how the round plays out. Union could do some crazy odd charges and wipe, but I don't know. I want to see what one of these CSA volley does, because these, you know, it's a nice little volley there from distance, but yeah, the Union already just pounding this tree, and CSA's just like, okay, we're just not going to be by the tree. And, you know, if they're close enough, they're just getting knocked down. They're not really getting killed. I mean, I really wonder if these guns are way too close. I mean, we can just see the Union bodies. I mean, look at some of these sponges. They almost look like tiki torches here. Those Union guys in the teabagging. Now, what's going to be interesting is if the Union team has taken losses before the CSA side hits engage, because even though Union's got a little bit higher, it's, you know, it's that 2-to-1 ratio so far. Honestly, they'll probably, based on the 2-to-1 ratio, they're going to hit it about the same time. Union team really consolidating on this left side. Do they still have... They have 6 less guys on Artie. But I mean, it is still a 17-man infantry imbalance right now. Just from the Artie alone, which really hasn't done much. Which again, the main purpose of artillery in my mind is to support infantry. And it's not like infantry is charging, so it's not like they can use artillery to their full potential. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they moved the guns here and then all fired them in the center. Where'd that shot go? Okay, that one really overshot. I guess the center out of bounds thing covered it up, and you can kind of see the smoke there. But, I mean, it could make sense if the Union Artie from there just pile drive the center and Union charge that. Because CSA's, you know, gonna see where Union is. They're gonna move. They're gonna react to that. And if CSA all clump themselves in the center as Union's going in, you fire the Artie shots, it could be beautiful, but... This is just confusing.
I don't want to be surrounded by these people. Let me out, Potato.
These people? What do you mean these people?
Thank you, quick.
Yo, these people are in my field. What are you talking about?
Pardon me.
What do you mean, you people?
Huzzah.
Yes. Right.
Sure, yes,
Daddy.
Alright, let's see the 7th Michigan volley here. Let's watch this drive, as they say. Alright, this better be a beauty. The Union line's a beauty. Alright. Alright, Union is taking losses. CSA about to hit engage. You hear him say break and right. CSA is such a huge advantage at this point that they just need to play okay. And by okay, I mean they need to respond. Like Union shifting to the right side right now. They're left. CSA's left. CSA's just got to move. And I really hope Union charges center with their guns aimed towards the center. I really hope. Or else what was the point of moving artillery to this side of the map? If Union charges extreme right now, it's going to be like, what is the Union team doing in a sense? You move your Artie to the left side. I don't know. I mean, it looks like Union's charging extreme right. Where's this gun aimed? To the center?
I can't hear you, bro.
I mean, the Union guns are aimed towards the center and left side right now. They're not even aimed to the far right side of the map. You would think with Union spending so much of their force, a large portion of their force, which normally artillery you don't have 16 guys for like half the match, but you gotta make them useful here, and this is not. And look at how trickled Union team is going, Ren. Now it's kind of understandable. CSA is not really fully responding to this. 2 corps first here. They're in the center of the line, though. So the CSA team's got to show up here. They've got, I mean, both sides got welcome ball. Here they go. Here come the rest of CSA. You see CSA starting to go in the open field behind that tree on the right side. They're trying to get some great side shots, knock down some Union flags.
Hold this fast, 12. Hold this fast, 12.
Oh my god, he just got blocked.
Fire Eve! Fire Eve! Fire Eve!
And Union's just kind of in a kill corner right now. I mean, CSA's got them surrounded. Now they're shutting the door, trying to wipe the flags. Good job from 7th Michigan here.
Outside! Outside! Get over here, let's wait.
That happened.
Get over here, Flaggy! Oh, you stupid chud with your pistol.
That,
Stupid chud.
Blasted, yo.
just the way that flaggy was pronounced, it sounded like a bad word almost. But Union flags are gonna get out here. Yep. Oh, Arcticus the last one. Aww. Well, looks like Union. Okay, you'll see this sometimes. Union charged with 2 of their flags on the right, keeping 1 on the left. Sharp's trying to take the corners. Union team's trying to spawn main and get over here. CSA's trying to return the favor and get over here and try to hold this spot.
Reload in the face.
Fighting on the corner. We're still fighting in the corner.
All right, I better see Union already hitting shots as the CSA trickle across this here. You gotta support the infantry charging this, which CSA is not really quickly reacting to this. There you go, there's a shot. CSA's reacting to this very slowly, and Union's going to get up to that corner. With a force, too. Union just needs to get their flags over there, which are running over here, because they need to just respawn their guys in at this point. Remember, CSA is going to be able to spawn guys in a lot quicker than the Union. They have more flags, with guys spread out a lot more. Union charging out, trying to prevent CSA from getting a foothold. At least a couple of them are. You can't let CSA form up here. You got to charge them out and defeat them in detail as they're trickling in. You're not going to win a shootout here, even though you have the buck and ball. I mean, maybe they could. Definitely possible. I just wouldn't chance it. Well, we'll see what happens. CSA going in. Oh, that hit nobody. Although CSA going in very trickled here. Most certainly helped the Union out here. Got a good amount of CSA starting to move out from main. You got some CSA holding out in the open, trying to hit side shots. Which CSA not being together is going to help out the Union team here.
And don't chase, don't chase. Come back, come back, come back. Let the flags run. Kill anyone who's in front of you. Let the flags run. Come back to the corner.
So good job by Union there. I mean, CSA lost a flag. CSA really, that was kind of a slow reaction initially from them, which caused, I mean, some guys reacted quickly, some reacted very slowly, very much a trickle in from CSA. Some of the CSA guys wanted to form up here, shoot it out, some kind of shooting it out from the opposite side, some kind of charging in. And, you know, that kind of inconsistency let the Union team defeat in detail. And there you go. That's about the arty shot you want to see. That they just, you know, I think they overshot that. Yeah, they overshot that, but that shell just went right through the line. A little funny there. Nonetheless, though, Union team immediately going to try to push down to the center. And that was the biggest thing out of that, is CSA defeated themselves in detail. You know, they just need to form up around there, and then once you get formed up, you'll be able to out-respawn the Union side and just slowly condense it on them. But nonetheless, Union team, good hold from them. They're not pushing to the center of the map. This is the area they generally want to hold. It's usually the spot Union team tries to go into. Union likes to get into the woods as well, just because it can cause chaos with the buck and ball that they have, but this is also a great spot for them. The only downside for Union is just because of that really kind of just shootout that they did for the first 20 minutes of the map. They're down a lot of tickets, and they'll have to win by hitting CSA into breaking and capping point. CSA pushing out, trying to hold the corner. Who is it? Kentucky Outlaws, 9th Louisiana. They're the only ones to go forth. From CSA pushing out, holding on point, which is right on this little rocky area here. That was a great buck and ball shot by that guy. Come on, Union Arty. Come on. They haven't hit much. Oh, look at that guy. CSA into taking losses. Again, one morale stage from breaking. Union's on a morale stage, but again, all Union needs to do is hit CSA into breaking, cap point, and win. But Union has some good ground now. They've gotten really past the hardest position of the map, because you have this first CSA defensive line that we've seen CSA hold for most of the game. Then you have the second defensive line for CSA in the woods area. The hardest part for Union to take is that initial defensive line, just because, again, they have to push across a wide open field, and CSA can see it easily and react. You would hope quickly.
First CS up and over. First CS up and over. First CS up and over. Goddammit.
On rider, on
Get that fucking ball on
whatever.
And with the buck and balls, you heard him down there, it should work out good. CSA kind of backing off in the woods here, almost kind of tempting the Union team to push into the woods. I mean, it's also killing time, right? Which we'll see what the Union team does now. Union can capture that point whenever they want to. Probably, you know, generally would say it's no downside, but if they early cap and CSA plays ultra aggressive, they could try to knock Union, who's then considered the defender in the early cap, try to hit him in the last stand. Normally the defender's last stage, but again, if you early cap the roll switch, Union can hit last stand then, potentially, because they're the defender. And if they do that and CSA retake them, they could win. So I wonder if that's what CSA is trying to do here. Bait them in the... I mean, they're killing time. They're trying to bait Union in the woods. They know even if they maybe lose a charge in the woods, they're up so many tickets, it's not really going to matter. And if Union early caps by accident, CSA could try to push him down the last stand. But we'll see. I mean, we've seen at least kind of a trickled CSA charge up on the top of the hill, and I don't know if it really impacted tickets at all, which is kind of surprising. Although I don't really remember the ticket balance at that time, which I can briefly check on the live stream of the broadcast. It looks like it was a little over a morale stage difference. Okay, so it's definitely closer than that initially, which would, I think, would make sense. It's closer, but it's not as, you know, it's still pretty extreme. A morale stage difference. CSAO grouping up, that's what they need to do. Again, War of Rights is a numbers game. You aren't the hero. I mean, you can get a couple kills, but no individual person is the hero of the story here. It's a team effort, a team game. The team, the team, the team. That's what matters here. And for the CSA side, they're sticking together here as a team. I mean, you have one shot, and sir, you can shoot a shotgun that can kill a couple guys, and you might go crazy and stab a couple and kill a couple that way, but you versus an entire enemy team, it's not going to work. Union team pushing up. Union has to stick together as well. They're pushing up into the woods. CSA starting to get shots into the Union right side of the line here. Popped out, not on top of them, but on the side. And Union for now. Looks like a couple guys on point. The CSA lineup front's backing off. Union is on point. Jackson division backing off. Union popping up into the woods a little bit. They have to watch here. They should not early cap. CSA gets a buy, and they just rocked a couple guys there. And Union has guys on point. Corn Brigade on point. Some of the guys have not moved up here. 51st Alabama. Looks like they're the sharps for the Union team. Really far back from the team. I mean, you can get why Union's early capping this, just because it could stop the timer, give them more time, which is what they need. But CSA could force them in the last stand, which I wonder if the CSA team will charge this. I mean, Union early capping here, generally you don't want that for CSA, because, you know, you want that time to keep ticking, right? Your goal as a defender is to get that clock down to 0, but if you're winning in a tickets fight, it's not as much of a concern. Really not much of a concern at all. So, Union, early cap, stops the black timer, 7 minutes, and CSA's in last stand. If Union holds for 7 minutes, they win the game. CSA, though, can either try to hit Union in the last stand, one morale stage away from that, 7 minutes, plenty of time to do that, or they can retake the point and continue the black timer. We'll see. They're charging on the flanks.
Race it up!
There.
Race the left!
Right side too, right side too.
Left's getting 8! Come here, you!
Oh, Jesus Christ, they're everywhere. Not today, boy.
All right, so that little charge gets held there by Sussy. You got 7th Ohio, charging point. A really couple CSA guys lingering in the Union line. A couple really hitting out on the flanks. I don't think they realized they just walked up on Union flags.
Flex to the left. Flex to the left. Go to the left. Go to the left. Come here, retards. Oh, you guys are dead. Oh, you guys are dead.
White boy, go! Run, white boy! Run!
Who even knew the Union had half their flags out? But that's huge. Looks like Union lose another flag in the center. Point being charged by Kentucky Outlaws.
That's true.
And it looks like they're going to start taking it back. The only Union group alive is the 51st Alabama. A couple 23rd New York guys who are on the sharp. So before Union reform, CSA kind of swept the field there. But look at the imbalance, right? It is, what, 9 in favor of CSA. You have the 11 on artillery, so that's 20. You have 19 guys that are not even engaged in the fight. So Union was outnumbered by 39 guys in the woods there. You would expect CSA to overwhelm looking at those numbers now. And CSA not trying to retake point immediately. I think they're trying to see if they can get Union in the last stand. If they can't, oh well. But if you can, it'd be very funny.
Honestly, it'd just be a waste to kill Shorty, but that's how bad.
And Union has the guns up here.
Push it up, push it up.
Here they come.
Union main spawns are trying to get back up over here. It's just a horde. Who's capping for CSA? 12th Virginia, Colquitt's Brigade, 7th Ohio, Tall Gray, Shenandoah Regulars on point. I don't know why they're recapping. Oh, I really don't know why they're recapping.
Shoot him up, shoot him up, shoot him up.
Boys, we need everyone up here. We need everyone up here. They're just gonna stand there and shoot, so shoot him down. Shoot him down. Come on, you stinking shooters.
It doesn't really matter that CSA retook the point there. It'd just be really funny if they could hit Union in that final stage, which they're about to anyways. That clock's going to be lowered by a few minutes. Union looks like they have guys starting to gun it out to the CSA left side, which Union has all their flags. All of them are on this side, and they just shot him to crap. Man. I mean, what a round here. CSA, I mean, they played like a 6-7 out of 10, unironically. They responded pretty well for the most part. Bouncing back and forth. A little slow to push up and not together, trying to retake the spot up the hill, which is the only time Union's kind of had the advantage initially. A lot of times Union's been playing at a disadvantage. And the moment Union got the advantage in like a position with numbers, CSA didn't hold well, but CSA never really was in a position where it was bad because the Union team just refused to attack. I mean, it was... That was just, yeah. Union's final push, charging here in the center. A little over 3 minutes left. CSA loses point, though. They hit breaking, they can lose the game. Definitely possible. Unlikely.
Hey, high caliber, get to the back of the corner. High caliber.
Fucking genuine retard.
Go backwards, go backwards.
So Union just trying to go and make something happen with CSA. Reforms, closes the gap. And, I mean, that really should do it for this round. I mean, Union can try to form up if they want to push in, but regardless of what they do, it's kind of over at this point.
Sure, fucking kill that flag.
I mean, Union, this is a long charge here in the center. It's given CSA plenty of time to react and put guys where they want to. I see that light on one of the frontline reporters' screens. Like when you die, there's a little tip there, and the tip was there are 4 morale stages, which is last stand and final push not considered a morale stage. I mean, I guess you have 0 tickets left. That's all right. You know, this would be a great time for Union Arty to pound. What are you shooting at? I think they're trying to hit the CSA flag in the back. You've got to help the infantry hold the ground here. Pop the Arty shot right here. I don't care if a team kills.
Oh, you fucking Yankees. What are you fucking Yankees doing here? Get them the fuck out. You're Yankees. Get out of here. Get the fuck out.
Spearwall Yankee, sit down. Spearwall Yankee, come here.
Get him.
Get him. It's so smooth. I'm so sorry. It's like
1 minute left. CSA down a half morale stage since the final push has been hit. Union is trying to get a flag out.
Don't let any
Shoot that officer. Shoot that officer. Just hold together.
worst party ever.
Real. Whoever said that, preach. Union, the decision making going into this round was not there. Obviously, if the result panned out differently, I'd probably be saying the opposite, but I mean, you can understand Union trying to get this into a shootout and seeing if they win, just because historically the Chargers have been difficult. They got a 10-11% increase in tickets. You know, might as well try a shootout. But very quickly, it was pretty evident that it wasn't working. And the fact they spent half the game moving artillery that ended up not really doing anything, a waste of manpower. And again, Union was outnumbered by like 39 guys in the woods once they actually took the ground, because they had the Sharps out shooting and they had the artillery, which again, right, the Sharps and a 400-man pop are going to be a disadvantage for the Union side, just because again you have 1 less flag as a result of having the special company. A lot more guys are in each of the 2 mainline companies as a result. I mean, there's just natural disadvantages, but Union put an additional 15 to 20 guys on Arty for majority of that match, and so that just adds on to the strain and the difficulty to the Union side. So CSA played a fine game. Union made some tactical blunders, and nonetheless, good win there for the CSA side, which, just to double say that again, Corn Brigade was attacking as Union. Colquitt's Brigade will get the win. So congrats to Colquitt's and 7th Michigan on their wins today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video, hit the join button. By doing so, and get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do for War of Rights, and get exclusive access to other broadcasts like Over the Top and Total War matches. But nonetheless, appreciate you all. God bless. If you're playing in this match, send me a link to your POV. You can put that in the pinned comment of the video. But appreciate you all. We'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.